Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Wasn't planning on recording a video today, but I am. Wet hair, no makeup, dirty glasses. But I was in the shower and something came to mind and I needed to share it, and I'm just home alone with Ruben, so here we go. Ruben is asleep, if anyone cares. So depending on what you follow on social media, you might not have seen this, but I'm guessing you have seen this sort of thing where somebody has said that if you have a side part and you wear skinny jeans, you're old, and then people reacting to that statement. So a lot of my Instagram feed is full of women of a certain age, because I'm a certain age, they all seem, a lot of them are reacting. You know, some of them are quite funny and they're like side part skinny jeans still hot type thing, and they're like these gorgeous women looking a certain way in their reels. And then some people are hugely offended that you've dared call them old. And some of them are a bit gross. Like one that I saw, who I immediately unfollowed, kind of was like, if you haven't parted down there, you can't comment about the part of my hair. Basically saying, if you haven't given birth to a child, you can't call me old. And I'm like, offensive. You know, as a person that went through 10 years of fertility, that's offensive. But that's another story. That's another conversation for another day. And I was thinking about it, and you know, when I was 13, 30 was old, or 14. You know, when I was a teenager, 30 was old. And I think, if we're honest with ourselves, a lot of us in our teenage years thought 30 was old. And then I was like looking at it and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I am old. Like, we're lockdown life, and you know, there are dark roots here, but blended into the dark roots, there are silver ones. And yeah, I have got bags under my eyes, but I do have a newborn, and you know, wrinkles at the sides. I've got stretch marks on the side of my boobs, but I've had them since I was about 15. I'm old in comparison to a teenager. Like, I'm not old compared to the Queen. Hello, Darwin. You know, I'm not old compared to the Queen, but I'm old compared to a teenager. So yeah. And then a part of me got a little bit sassy with it, and I'm like, well, I'm old, but I've got a mortgage. You know, I eventually will own my own home. You know, I've got a pension plan. I know what's going to happen when that happens. I've got no student debt. Like, whoop whoop me. I know who I am as a person, and that's not me belittling a younger individual saying you can't know yourself, but it's like, I thought I knew who I was at 14. I thought I knew who I was at 22. I thought I knew who I was at 33. You know, I think as individuals, you're always evolving, aren't you? Because, you know, depending on life happening, education stuff, political stuff, what you're reading, what you're doing, who you're interacting with, you're always evolving, otherwise you're becoming stagnant. So as such, you're always changing. So you kind of know yourself, but you only know yourself who you are at that current point. So, you know, I'm comfortable with a teenager thinking I'm old. It doesn't bother me. But it actually made me think of a broader picture. And realistically, it's not ageism, as some people are calling it online. It's sexism. Now, I know that might sound weird, but just let it sit for a second. They weren't attacking people of a certain age. It was women of a certain age, realistically. And that is because society, the media, they expect women to live in this like Peter Pan-esque place where women aren't allowed to age. You know, they don't want us to age. We have to look a certain way and be a certain way to be taken seriously. Yeah, is that the right term? You think seriously? It's like, you know, as a woman, you're expected to do all these things. You're expected to be got your shit together. You're expected to be able to be the perfect mum, the business COE boss woman. You're supposed to be able to be a chef in the kitchen and a goddess in the bedroom. You're expected to be able to hinge your home, pull in, 35 grand a year, and all do it in, well, not skinny jeans. Clearly you're meant to be doing it in your leather pants now, but do you know what I mean? There's so much pressure that society puts on women, but we're also expected to look like we're 20. I clearly don't look like I'm 20. But it's like, you look at it, you think Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez, both in their 50s, they look amazing, they look incredible, but they look like they're in their 20s. And there are the people out there that go, well, if I had a personal chef, personal trainer, a maid, a nanny, and a business manager that paid my bills, I could put my job that, look like that. But it's the fact that society needs them to look like that for them to stay relevant. Do you know what I mean? It's like Kylie Minogue looks the same now as she did in the 80s to stay relevant. Women are expected to look a certain way to be taken seriously. George Clooney is allowed to age. He's allowed to play roles of his age. Will Smith, who looks extremely handsome currently, but he's allowed to have his grey hairs and he still gets acting work. Boris Johnson, who is the leader of our country, has the crazy hair and looks a state, but it was only last summer an MP was called all the names under the sun because she went to work with a one shoulder top on. Women are expected to look a certain way and men can get away with doing what they want. We have to, our worth comes from looking young and looking a certain way, where, a old man, well, no, two old white men just had a competition to see who could run the America. Somebody who's almost 80, who looks like an old man, has just been given one of the most powerful jobs in the world. And it's like, we're all meant to be extremely grateful because the vice president is a woman and a woman of colour, but it's just kind of like she has all of that pressure on her, but she also has to look amazing, and it's just not, obviously we all want to put our best self forward, and yes, there are exceptions to the rules, but as on a whole, you look on Instagram, you look #dadbod, and there's these men that have average bodies and women are drooling over them. But we are supposed to be a size perfect altogether because society says that as a woman you can't look old. And, if you do look old, you're clearly not doing something right. And yeah, there's no end to this video. I could ramble on for another 20 minutes. I just kind of wanted to have a conversation, really, to see if what you guys thought. It isn't ageism, it's sexism. It's like, say, the media and society put this pressure on women that we must look a certain way, that we should forever be young. Rather than evolving our minds and our views, we should just be making sure we look like we're 22. Which is just crazy. I might be wrong. Oh, I think that's the postman coming. I might be wrong. I might have overthought it, but yeah, that is my little ramble. Yeah, that's definitely the postman. I'm going to end the video there before all the dogs bark and the baby cries. I hope you're all okay. Let me know your opinion below. I'll be interested to see if this is just mind craziness. It could be. Right, take care guys, bye.